Okay, good morning. Today, inshallah, we are going to talk about some of the techniques through which we can implement go-to-market strategy. Some of these techniques, they are various. Some of them, we are saying, they are force options. Others, they are alternatives. Now, we are going to talk about the techniques in a detailed way. Later on, we are going to evaluate each technique according to two principles: efficiency and effectiveness. So let's begin talking about them. Listen. Customer and prospects. As we said, the word prospects, it refers to potential customers that might be attracted or recruited by our sales organization. Now, here we are talking about sales force options. The sales force options, they are classified into two parts. Some of them, they are direct, others, they are indirect. Let's see them together. So the word direct, it includes this one, direct sales force. When we are saying it is direct sales force, we are referring to the salespersons who are working in our own organization. In other words, project sales force, we are referring to the sales team, which is hired and working for the interest of our own sales agency. Therefore, if you are referring to our employees, can we say or can we talk about indirect relationship? No, we are talking about direct relationship, which connects between our sales agency and our customers. The second techniques, they are classified to be indirect. If you are going to say or ask why we are naming them to be indirect, because we are referring to somebody who is called mediator, who is going to be in between us as a sales company and our customers as a target market group. The first one, we are referring to the agent, distributor, retailers. With these agents, we are going to sign with them a contract, according to which the agents, they are going to purchase the product from us. Later on, they are going to go and sell it by the market or in the market by themselves. Then, in this scenario, we cannot talk about direct relationship between the company and the customer. Why? Because the agent is standing in between the two partners. This agent is acting on behalf of himself. This is very important. A second technique, we are talking about integrators. What's the meaning of integrators? Connectors. Okay, and also, it means we are talking about integration contract. According to this integration contract, a second company or a company which might be classified to be number two might say, we would like to work with you. In this case, they are going to take or buy or purchase something from our own product, or they will begin selling it by themselves. But listen, if they are winning, we are winning together. Or if they lost, we are losing together. Or this is the meaning of what? Integration contract. So once again, in this relationship, we are talking about indirect relations, simply because integrator is considered to be the mediator which is selling the product on behalf of us. This is important. The third thing, we are talking about alliances. Alliances in Arabic, it means tahalufat. Where we are talking about geography, we are talking about areas, we are talking about various markets. We might sign a memo of understanding according to which, for example, our business company or our sales company is going to help in selling X product for a second company. In exchange for that, our company might ask the assistance from this X company to help us in selling our own product in its own area. So in this case, we are talking about what? A kind of alliances. But here, the winning and the loss is for your company only. When we are talking about alliance partnership, we are referring to a company which is assisting and helping us. But they are not partnered with us according to a strategic coordination or assistantship. A favor in exchange for another favor. This is very important. Therefore, we are talking about what? Indirect relationship. So all these things, we call them sales force options. The word options is reminding us that our sales agency is enjoying various alternatives. In other words, whenever we are going to begin selling, we are going to recruit a sales team member. But here, when we are talking about indirect, we are talking about alternatives. Nobody can force us to sign a contract with agent distributors or retailers. Nobody can force us to make an integrator contract. Nobody can force us to make alliance contract. This is a decision which is belonging to our own company. Here we are talking about three alternatives. Can we pick any one of them? Yes, we can. Sometimes we might decide to ignore this part, and we must depend on indirect sales relationship. So we are talking about a kind of space. We are talking about a kind of manipulation, a kind of exercising various options, where everything is related to our own decision, or everything is related to our own interest. Clear? Let's go to the second part. The second part, we are referring to non-sales force options. Here, we are referring to something called non-sales force option. The word non, or the prefix non, it is reminding us of something very essential. Now we are going to talk about techniques which are compulsory. In other words, they are essential steps or procedures or techniques. Can we work according to them as a sales agency, or can we dispense them? We cannot. These techniques includes what? Number one, advertising. Well, advertising, as you studied in marketing course, is very important. We are talking about a promotion, and we are talking about direct mail. All of you is understanding advertising and the promotion, but sometimes direct mail, it is ambiguous. Now listen. Why it is ambiguous? It is ambiguous simply because our country, Palestine, is suffering from poor mail services. Now, if you are living in America, for example, nobody can survive or live without having a mail or mailbox. Mailbox. Somebody is going to say, Taboy, we are saying the mailbox, it looks like the lungs which we are breathing from. The mailbox looks like the lungs which we are breathing from. In other words, all your transaction with university, with your work, with the electricity company, with internet company, with water company, all the receipts and the transactions, they are going to be delivered to you through mail, where everything is documented and written. Even, la samahallah, if you are going to have, for example, a traffic fine or accident, and there is going to be a court procedures or implications, all these things, they will be sent to you through mail by the court. So imagine this scenario. A bill was sent to your home and you didn't check up your mailbox. The next day they are going to cut the service. Imagine, for example, the court sent you a letter saying to you, you must come to the court on the next day, dated so-and-so, at the time so-and-so, and you didn't pick up this letter from your mailbox. What's going to happen? So your life will be destroyed. Yes. Completely. Now, when I went to America in 2000, I went to study over there a master's degree. The American, or the academic advisor, she told me you should open the mailbox. I opened my mailbox, and I wasn't aware of this culture. Therefore, I didn't check up my mailbox for about 3 weeks. Later on, after the end of the 3 weeks, I said the mailbox is important, so I should go and check it. When I went to check it up, I opened the mailbox, which was full of huge correspondences. 80% from them are sales promotion, sales commercial, sales advertisements. Therefore, many of the American organizations, nowadays, by the way, this technique also is applicable in the Arab countries. The company is going to send written commercials to your mailbox, to your mailbox. So if you are talking about 1 million or 2 million households in this city, this means 1 million mail will be delivered to this number of the households. By this way, they are accessing the market. They are accessing their own customers. Through what? Through mail. Somebody is going to say, but are we talking about a kind of a mutual benefit between the sales company from one hand and the mail authorities from the other hand? Yes. Because each mail transaction, it will have a fixed rate of fees. These fees will be paid by the sales company to the government or the authorities of the mail services. So each one is benefiting the other. But is it a widely used technique according to go-to-market strategy? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Okay. Let's go to the second technique, which is called telemarketing. Telemarketing, it means a technique through which we are going to use our telephone to contact our customers and talk with them verbally and directly through using a telephone or a cell phone. So this is considered to be the second technique. The last one is called internet. The internet nowadays, it is very popular. If I'm going to ask you a very quick question, who has an access to internet at her home? Please raise her hand. Raise her hand. Access to internet. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? One. So imagine we are talking about a few number, very limited number, less than 5, who doesn't have an access to internet. But the majority of the people, they are having access. This means the majority of the customers can look at our own sales offers. Through what? Through accessing favorite websites. Let's give example. Now, if you are going to look at the website, this website, jobs.bs. This is a local website through which we are announcing our vacancies or positions or jobs. So any Palestinian, either we are talking about men or women, students or non-students, and they are looking for work, they will visit this website. Now, when you are using this website, it is a free service. But somebody is going to wonder how the management of this website is funding its website. It is going to fund its website because if you are going to look on the page itself, you are going to find here advertisements, where advertisements, where advertisements, where advertisements. The jobs are listed here. These companies, whenever they are going to attach their advertisements on this website, they are paying money for the manager or the owner of this page. Therefore, this is considered to be the major source of funding the website. Therefore, as we said, internet is something which we cannot dispense nowadays when we are talking about sales. The same thing whenever we are talking about Hotmail account or Yahoo account or Gmail account or Facebook account or YouTube account or Twitter. All of them, they are what? Carrying a kind of advertisements, commercials, paid by big sales agencies. Yes, the service from these accounts are for free. But remember, how they are going to fund their own expenses? By dealing and contracting with sales agencies who are attaching advertisements on these pages. Clear? Any question, any comments? Okay, now, these things we call them what? Non-sales for option. But are these techniques through which we can reach customers? Of course. Well, as you said, here we are talking about non-sales force option, but here, sales force option. This is direct, these are indirect. But this is very important, which will be in the midterm exam. How? Through multiple choice, true or false, and we can generate tens and tens of questions. This is very important. Okay? Go to the second. Listen here. This is also very important. Now, the second phase from our own class, we would like to compare and contrast or evaluate the efficiency and the effectiveness of each technique which we can use to implement go-to-market strategy. Therefore, if you are going to look here, this is referring to something called low cost. per exposure. It means efficiency, inexpensive per customer contract. Now, if the strike is here, this means that the low cost is very high. In other words, the tool itself is very cheap. But if the strike is here, this means that the low cost is very limited, because we are beginning from zero up to this strike. So this means it is very expensive. Clear? Yes. But let's go to this one. Effectiveness, it refers to high sales per exposure. So which one is better, here or here? This one. Because it refers that we are selling more units of sales. Well, effectiveness, how did we define it last time? With the goals here. Exactly. Excellent. Excellent. High sales. Well, high sales is the tool for achieving a high profit. But when we talked about efficiency, what did we say?
Time, money, effort.
Exactly. And excellent. So history repeats itself. The same thing. We are talking about the same principles. Clear?
Yes.
Type. Let's compare. What is the difference, or how we can evaluate advertising as a technique within go-to-market strategy, along with the second technique, which is called direct mail? Which one is better? Or how we can evaluate the two techniques according to the principles of efficiency and effectiveness? Iman.
Advertising more efficient than direct mail, but direct mail more effective than advertising.
In other words, let's talk about, or let's use the language of money.
Yeah, advertising is lower cost than direct mail.
Exactly. But the direct mail,
Direct mail reach high sales than
it is achieving a higher sales more than the advertising. Excellent. Why?
Because advertising not always reach the message for the customers.
Good. Hanin.
Direct mail reach or directed for specific persons, and that person will respond by any way. But the advertising, it's directed for the public, and the person may not respond to that.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Excellent. When we are talking, as Hanin said, when we are talking about advertising, we are targeting the public. This is one thing. Another thing, imagine we would like to make 10,000 copies of a photo as a kind of advertisement for X of the product. We are going to go to a library or to a store, and we are going to ask them, please make 1,000 or 10,000 copies. How much do you think this is going to cost us? Not less than 500 new Israeli shekel. Because we are going to deal according to each copy, according to each paper. Is it expensive? It isn't. But is it efficient? It has a very limited effectiveness, or a level of effectiveness. But why? Various reasons. Number one, this advertisement, it might be torn out by people. This advertisement might be detached. ايش عن detached؟ يقع ويزحلق. This advertisement might be met by a customer who is illiterate. This advertisement might be met by a customer who is very busy and he doesn't have enough time to read. So all these are probabilities, or probabilities of having less limited space of effectiveness. This is the logic. Okay? On the other hand, whenever we are talking about direct mail, as Hanin said, here we are targeting the person by himself or herself. So, do you think there is a difference between targeting all the people as public and targeting you as you? Of course. This means concentration is going to be stronger here than advertising. Because of this, even though the direct mail, it is going to be more expensive. Why? Because as we said before, each mail transaction must be paid according to specific fees. Therefore, for example, if a company would like to send mail letter from Gaza to Rafah, and we are going to sign a contract with Aramix office here, do you think how much they are going to charge us for each mail transaction? Approximately 30 new Israeli shekel, or 50. This is the rate. But is it expensive rate? It's expensive rate. When? Especially if you are going to send thousands and thousands of mail transactions. It is going to be more expensive. Okay? On the other hand, are we talking about effectiveness? Yes. Because here, people or customers, they are going to look and review at this commercial in more serious way. Why? Because this commercial is addressed to you. Why? Because this commercial is sent to your home or company or organization. Can it be lost? It cannot. Was it sent by accident? It cannot be. Everything is planned. Why? Because this service is paid. Any question and comments about this? But let's compare these two. These two, we are talking about internet and also we are talking about telemarketing. Regarding the money, quickly, which one is more expensive? Telemarketing. But is this true in our country? Yes. Look, for example, whenever we are talking about Jawal company, how they are going to charge us while we are making cell conversations. They are charging us according to seconds. According to seconds, they are charging us. But is it expensive? It's very expensive. Because of this, we are saying telemarketing is more expensive than the internet. But who is going to have more effectiveness? Telemarketing the same. It is going to have more effectiveness. Somebody is going to say, why? Because this is here, or this is what? So, which one units of sales? This is bigger than this one. Clear? Therefore, telemarketing so far is the most expensive, or so far is the most effective. But are we talking about other techniques? Of course. The most expensive and the most effective, which means exactly. We are going to deal with the customers by ourselves and face-to-face communication. But this is considered to be the most expensive. Why? Various reasons. Simply, we are going to recruit employees, salespersons. Second, they will be entitled for monthly salaries. Third, they will be entitled for insurance. Fourth, they will be entitled for training. Fifth, they will be entitled for bonuses. And so on, and so on, and so on. Because of this, we are talking about what? A very high expenses. But is it the most effective one? Yes. Why? Because the probability of convincing the customer to buy the product by dealing with him or her face to face is greater than the probabilities by the various techniques. This is very important. Very important. What is in the exam? Any question, any comments? Everything is clear? Now let's go on. Let's talk about a first definition for today's class, something called PDM. PDM, it means Product Development Management. Well, somebody is going to say, what do you mean by Product Development Management? Product Development Management, it means a process of developing, producing, and marketing new product offerings. Well, let's zoom on the word new. Now, somebody knows what happened 3 days ago with Apple company? What happened? Farah? Raise your voice. Yes. They began selling the new version of the iPhone 5. Do you know, 1 week ago I was listening to the news. In one day, more than 2 million requests were asking for this version. On one day. Is this something believable? It's unbelievable. But who is providing us with this new version, which is called the new 5? This unit, Product Development Management. This unit in companies, they are responsible for creating new versions of products. We underline the word new. Why they are interested in these things? Because as we said before, the taste of the customers is fluctuating. It is changeable. It isn't permanent. It isn't fixed. Everything is changing in our own life. This is one thing. Another thing, all the time the customer is looking for his own comfort and is looking for his own relaxation. In other words, if you are going to provide a bike for your son or your brother or sister, she's going to say, that's fine. After 1 week, she's going to say, I need a bike, motorbike. After a month, she's going to say, I need a small car. Another month, she needs a Jeep, and so on and so on. Therefore, customers are greedy. In other words, they are going to look for better specifications for the product. This is the nature of the human beings. Therefore, we must have what? BDM. In the midterm exam, I might use the abbreviations. You must understand them clearly and quickly and directly. This is important. Go on. These are the sub-processes of the BDM. When we are saying sub-processes, we are referring to minor processes which we must do to create BDM. It begins by this and it ends by this. Why I'm not going to talk about them. Read them at home. Where, remember, I will never give you a question through which I'm going to check your memory. In other words, I'm not going to tell you, explain in a very detailed way the sub-processes of the BDM. This is nonsense. I'm not going to check your memory. I am going to check your understanding and your analytical abilities. Clear? This is important. Skip it. Now let's go to the second one. Let's talk about the second term, which is called SCM. The SCM, it is referred to supply chain management. With this supply chain management, it means integration and organization of what? Of two things which are important. Number one, information. And number two, logistic activities across the firm. But why we have to make integration and organization for information and for logistics in a supply chain for the purpose of creating and delivering goods and services that provide value to people or customers. This is the meaning of what? Supply chain management. Well, let's give example here. Well, I want you to look. I'm going to write 3 letters and you must tell me what is this. What do you understand by them? Yes, it is service delivery. So if you would like to send a good or item or a product or a letter to somebody or to another company, they are ready to deliver it to you in the shortest time. Now listen, how this company, for example, is working. Is this a sales company? Of course. But why? It is selling a service for us. Service of what? Delivery. Now, they are going to depend on these two things, the information and the logistics. Number one, DHL company. It is originally American company. They are having big navy of, number one, cars, trucks, 3 planes from all kinds. Small or medium or huge planes. So the logistics are here. Along with, of course, their own offices and the staff member all over the world. All these are apart from logistics. On the other hand, whenever you would like, for example, imagine you are living in America, you would like to send a laptop for your sister here in Gaza or in Palestine. How the transaction is going to be conducted? Look at this. You are going to go to the DHL office, and the staff member over there, he or she is going to ask you to provide her with your personal information. Like, what's your name, what's your telephone, what's your fax, what's your email address, and so on. And at the same time, she's going to ask you what are the personal information of the receiver of this gift. So here we are talking about info. So the info is ready. The information is ready now. Now, after that, she is going to provide you with something called tala. Read. Exactly. She's going to provide you with something called the tracking number of shipment and irsaliya. This means you are going, after you're going to finish the transaction, you will return back home, You are going to go to the website of the DHL company, and you are going to log in by using your personal information along with the tracking number of the shipment. You are going to look where the shipment is going and how it is lifted from one station to another. So if you are moving from America to Palestine, this means this shipment must pass through Europe. In Europe, it might be delivered by Netherlands or Germany, Frankfurt. In this case, after 7 hours, you are going to find online that the shipment reached Europe. After another or extra 7 hours, you are going to find that it reached Palestine. Or after a couple of hours, if you are going to contact your sister, she's going to tell you, I signed and I received it. Online, everything is online. It's unbelievable. But if it was damaged, they will tell you it is damaged. If it was stolen, they will tell you it was stolen. Of course, they are ready to make full compensation about the damages. Any question, any comments about this? Clear? Okay, so this is, what do we call it? SCM, which is very important. Now, we are going to talk about our project. Any question before we are going to conclude? Okay, next time we are going to begin talking about CRM. Any question, any comments? Okay. Give me a minute. Listen, this is the content of your project. It is going to include what? It is going to include various. تمام. يسلم ايديك. Now listen, what are you going to write in your research paper? Write a paper about one of the product of any type or any category in the Palestinian market. And then do your best to present the product based on these issues. Number 1, introduction about the product history. Number 2, illustrate the features and the specification of the product. Number 3, illustrate the benefits of the product. Number 4, talk about the product market. Number 5, specify your production strategy. The production strategy which is implemented by the company, like cost leadership, differentiation, niche, which we talked about. Also, adopt targeting strategy. Here you have to be critical, you have to be evaluator. If you feel that the strategy which is implemented by this company or sales company isn't efficient or effective, you can propose a new strategy to improve or to enhance the rate of the sales size, but according to correct and logical justifications. Clear? 7, adopt segmentation strategy and talk about segmentation basis that you should be to segment the market. 9, illustrate how you are going to position your product in the customer mind. Choose of the go-to-market alternatives, which we have just talked about. Yes. Because of this, when you ask me about the research group, what did I tell you? I told you, be patient. Because some of the techniques, now, we talk them, we are realizing them. Therefore, you can know exactly what is the framework of your research content. Okay? Now, number 10, state the success factors of your product that from point of view which are critical in convincing your customer of your product through answering these questions. Is there an opportunity, marketing opportunity? Or can we compete? Can we win? The word we here refers to company itself, which you are writing about. Clear? Okay. How are your sales to be organized, etc., etc. All these things, you must be able to answer them. Listen. Somebody is going to say the dimensions of the research, they are too many. Pick or apply فاتن where it is appropriate and applicable. Are you following me? Yes. So each company has its own features, characteristics, mentality. Try to write within this flexible framework. Exactly. But our condition is that everything must be founded on one word, one big rule, which is sales. This is very important. Clear? So any dimension, any factor, any one of the sub-questions you can write about. But it must be founded on the mentality of sales. Therefore, next class on Monday, inshallah, I want each group to nominate a spokeswoman who is going to tell us what is their own organization, what is their own product, and what is the outline of their own paper. 3 things: organization, product, and a quick outline. Or we called it preliminary outline. ايش يعني outline؟ مخطط أولي. Any question, any comments? Clear? Now listen, regarding the size of the paper, I am looking for a paper which doesn't exceed 20 pages or not less than 15 pages. It must be referenced. This is a condition. It must be referenced. Oh, please be away from the culture of copying and pasting. Copying and pasting. If I smell directly or indirectly, your evaluation is going to be very harsh. Your evaluation is going to be very harsh. Clear? The font Times New Roman 12, size 12. 4, the headings and the subheadings, please make them bold, and for the ordinary text, make it ordinary without bolding. Any question, any comments? Any question? Any comments? Go on. Okay, listen. Go on. I think I put you in a group last time. Fatin? Okay, who's going to take her membership? Do you have a group? Who are the members? Okay, what's your name? Sajida, I am thanking you too much for accepting her membership in your group. مع ساجدة, okay? تمام? Any question, any comments? See you next time. Thank you.